So then I told him, I was like, as of now, I don't think I'm interested in having kids. And then
See, that's the thing, because that's why I feel like it's not an appropriate question to ask. Because
well, no, he didn't even ask. I just told him.
Hello, welcome to S&T Chats,
where we bring you episode 2 of our relationship series.
A lot to talk about.
All right, so today's topic is kids. Are kids important in a relationship?
Having kids.
Having kids. So I wanted to bring up this topic is because I've been scrolling Instagram for longer than
You should.
intended. Yeah, longer than I should. And I've seen a lot of like Chinese videos on Instagram that's basically like they get married, the girl has a kid, and then the guy just changed.
Completely flips around.
Yeah, like from someone who's like super loving, super protective, super like thinking of you 24/7 to someone who like looks down on you, and then who says, "Oh, you got a kid. Look at how fat you are," like things like that. And then I'm like, dang, that hurts. Like even watching that video hurts.
Yeah, and a little backstory on this, I think, is that on your stance, at least, like, you're kind of like not sure if you want to have kids.
Yeah.
Especially in a relationship. But after you watch these videos, you're like, nope, I do not want kid and a relationship at all. But the first thing is, in a relationship, like, should you talk about this? And how soon should you talk about this? Question. When you're dating, we both agree you should probably talk about it when you're dating.
Yeah.
But like how soon? Because I know some people, like, especially if you're going to like相亲,
like an arranged meeting.
Yeah, arranged kind of date.
Yeah.
Like a lot of Asian guys, at least, it's a huge thing to them, and they might ask you on the first date. And I don't know, like, how do you feel about it?
I feel like men or women, like if you really, really want kids and that's something that you are not willing to give up on, then I feel like no matter in which stage you are, it's better that you tell that to the person that you're seeing. Honestly, I think it's a sign of, hey, I want this, and I don't know if you're willing to, but I'm just like throwing it out there. But that being said, like you shouldn't say that like at the beginning of a date. Like you're just meeting. If it's a regular date, you guys met at a bar, you change contact information, then just take it slow, But if it's like an arranged a date, then it's kind of different because arranged dates basically like how do we say it?
Like your point is to get married,
right?
Like straight away. It's like you probably won't date that long anyways.
Yeah.
I've never had an arranged date before, so I don't really know, but I feel like if someone asked me that like the first time we met, it's kind of like a turn off for me, and I automatically I would just flag that person like, yeah, you want kids, and like that's probably gonna be a deal breaker in the relationship. Like for me, I like kids a lot, but I understand the fact that your relationship will change after having kids. That's for sure. But not to that extreme though, but it will change. But like I feel like for me, the person is really important. That is ultimately my decision if I'm like 100% or like 110% willing to have a kid, or if I'm like 50-50, because I don't want to end up in a situation like those women. Like that's just so painful.
So I've been in an arranged date before. Basically, in an arranged date, like what Selena said, you basically want to get married. Like the dating aspect of this relationship is like cut into like 3 dates or something like that, So then I told him, I was like, as of now, I don't think I'm interested in having kids. And then
see, that's the thing, because that's why I feel like it's not an appropriate question to ask. Cause
well, no, he didn't even ask. I just told him.
Like, what if you really like someone and you guys been dating for a really long time and you really like this person, but like they just don't really want to have kids? Like, is that gonna be a deal breaker? Is that gonna be like, okay, then you're gonna choose kids over love?
Right. Right. That's why I feel like if you really, really want kids and you know that you want kids, tell the other person beforehand, because I feel like if we were to continue on with this relationship and then I told him afterwards, that would be a waste of time for both of us.
Well, I think that's because you were in the arranged dating. That's why you wanted to bring that out for as a girl.
Yeah, and that's what I said. In a regular dating scenario, you wouldn't tell that straight out. Yeah, so regular dating scenario versus arranged marriage.
I guess
dating.
A little different.
Yeah,
I never had the arranged.
Yeah.
But would you want to be with someone who just wants kids? Probably not.
Who only wants
kids?
No,
not who only wants kids. Who is like, okay, we
kids.
Yeah, we have to have kids.
Yeah, it's like as you said, it just depends on the guy.
Really okay, so if the guy is super handsome,
not even super handsome, more like he treats people well. Like, I know that the other thing that I'm also thinking about if I'm gonna have a kid is how will we bring up this child?
Yes, that's very important.
You know, the upbringing of this child, because I feel like I'm spoiled. No, actually, don't even put that in.
Your mom's gonna cry.
I feel like
you're not spoiled. You're just because you're the youngest. That's why you're a little bit spoiled. Yeah. Because your sister definitely is not spoiled.
Yeah. But I feel like the upbringing of a child, it's not just the girl that's in charge.
No,
you know,
for sure,
it's the man and the woman in a relationship, and how the woman treats his wife and how the man treats his parents very, very largely affects how the child is.
Yes, that is very true. Kids are like sponges.
Yeah.
They just observe, and what kind of family environment you bring them up, it will really directly affect their personality and everything.
Yeah. So going on Instagram and just watching these videos, I also saw super loving videos of this married couple with a small kid, and then whenever the mom is cleaning, her husband will help out. And then by seeing what the dad is doing, the kid one day also helped out the mom. And then I'm like, oh, that is so dang cute.
Yeah.
You know, so it's both sides of the coin. It's but for me, the biggest deal breaker is not the kid itself, but the man.
Yeah. But then going back to the videos that you watch, how would you know a guy would turn like that? So another question, do you think guys will change after having kids?
I feel like in Chinese culture, there is a big possibility that guys do change.
Why in Chinese culture?
Because of the videos I've seen.
I would say if it was in traditional culture, back in the thousands.
Yeah.
If you gave birth to a guy or gave birth to a girl, it's a little bit different. You know. But now, current state, I think if marriage is a gamble, I just have to say that you really cannot foretell 100%.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say 50% sometimes, because some people even change after marriage.
Yeah.
We know friends that before marriage, the guy was great.
Yeah.
And then after marriage, something just happened.
A piece of poop.
Yeah, and I think she's the friend was pretty smart, but she couldn't tell.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a gamble. It's really hard.
Yeah. That's why I don't really recommend arranged marriages or arranged dates, at least, unless the family knows each other, unless they're of equal social
Actually, I do have a tip though for singles, for you singles. Actually, a really good tip is see how the guy's parents are, how their relationships are. Okay, so I'm married, right? So if me and my husband got into an argument and it got big to the point that his parents knew, they're gonna help out in the way that where they will underline their values, which they are very, pretty traditional. And my father-in-law, he's very favor of my mother-in-law. He's that kind of guy. So I think when you see that when you're dating, look at his parents and how their relationship are, because when you're in an argument, the in-laws, they will talk to the husband, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
how
yeah.
they persuade him and how they talk to him will directly affect what will happen to you
Yeah.
in a conflict or in your marriage.
Yeah.
Very important.
Yeah. So I actually saw another video about that. We might be going off topic, but in this video it basically says when the wife is brought home to the man's family home, the in-laws will see how the husband treats the wife. And by seeing how the husband treats the wife, the in-laws will also match his energy.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that? So they're acting?
Well, no, but they're like, if my son treats you well, then we will treat you well too.
有个护短的老公真的很重要。刷到网友分享，过年拜年磕头的时候，男生怕老婆磕到头，用手帮老婆在盆上敲了一下，看到没？老公一护着，别人就赶紧把盆拿走了。大家其实都在看男人的脸色，判断怎么对他老婆，真的是男人的决定，决定女人在婆家的幸福。冷知识：只要你老公护着你，婆家谁也不敢让你受委屈。
So in this video, you see that they are back at the husband's place, celebrating Chinese New Year.
Okay.
Right? And then in Chinese New Year, you have to bow to your elders to get the red packet, right? And then, so in that video, the guy's family put a metal basin right in front of the wife.
Okay.
And then they want the wife to knock her head on the basin,
okay.
right? And then the husband's like, no, you take that out.
Oh.
And then the whole environment changes.
Oh, okay. I mean, you would want your husband to be like that.
Yeah.
If your husband
Is not
isn't
a
like
ma
that, yeah, if
So ma bao nan is basically like a
mommy's boy,
mommy's boy.
and in a bad way.
Yeah.
So if the husband didn't do that,
Yeah.
then the family would be different, react different.
Yeah. That's what it is in that video and a couple of other
Very
videos
interesting.
that I saw. Yeah.
I guess because the parents also really respect their son, or will follow if their son really likes this person.
Yeah.
They will also like it, even if they don't like this person.
Right. Right.
Yeah, that's a really good in-law actually. But why would the family do that? I don't know.
And
That's
that's why
kind of like weird.
That's why it's probably like a Chinese thing that does this, right? Because I've seen another video on Instagram, and then this is a Western family, right? And then so this is just a joke that the couple is playing on the in-laws, right? So basically, they're sitting on a table, they're all eating steak, and then the wife is like, "Hey, babe, can you pass me the butter?" And then the husband's like, "Look at you." Like, do you think you need extra butter?
I think that's a little bit different.
Like, I don't know if this is like a culture thing or this
Yeah.
is like a family.
But I do feel like in Western culture, like respect is taught a lot more.
Yeah.
Because Chinese people are a little bit more introverted, so they don't express as much with the respect and everything. But I do have to say, if your husband could stand in your stance and support you when there's a family issue with your in-laws, then he's a keeper. That's good. That's like a really good green sign. But if in a problem and the boyfriend, not your husband, hopefully, doesn't stand and support you, no, run. You're gonna have a really bad marriage life. Like nobody's gonna take care of you during like your postpartum. You're on your own, and if you do not have any financial stability, forget it. Like honestly, in a Chinese relationship, forget it. Okay, so just think, you as a girl, you married into that family.
Yep.
Your parents cannot help you as much. They cannot support you. You've only got your husband actually in reality, because no matter what, like his parents are his parents. They're not your parents.
Right.
There's that difference still.
Right. So this is like the mindset that we currently have is like an Asian mindset. Like, because in Asian, they're like, boys will carry on the family name and girls are water that you pour outside. Like, what's it?
泼出去的水。
泼出去的水. That's basically how they describe women getting married off.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that's why Selena is saying, like, you only have yourself, and if your husband is not there to support you, then girl, leave that.
Yeah,
leave that guy.
and I think going back to the baby topic, like having kids, if he is like supports you in an argument, I'm pretty sure he won't treat you like that after birth.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, as girls, you're gonna get fat. You're not gonna get ugly. You might get some scars on your face. You're gonna get stretch marks, and you're gonna be emotional, and you're not gonna be as pretty as you were like before you were pregnant and gave birth. And I think if a husband isn't for lust and isn't for that kind of stuff, and really truly wants to build a family and loves you, he will not treat you like that. Because you have to understand, like, as a guy, I will treat my wife the best because I know how much hardship and torture she went through to give birth. 9 months pregnancy, giving birth, like contractions, all that pain, like, your husband should treat you better. They should not be treating you worse. So if they were treating you worse, I don't know, I shouldn't say this, but you should get a divorce. You're probably better off by your own.
Like, even before having kids, the guy treats you well, right? But then you don't know if he's gonna flip after having kids.
So that's why, like, how he treats you in front of his parents and in an argument. Ultimately, everything is good and happy and bubbly when everything is good. But when you have an argument, especially with the in-laws, how does he react? Like, that's, so it's good to date for a couple months.
To really get to know the person. I also saw another video
my
on
gosh.
Instagram.
买一个吧，
你要吃一次也买啊。
要不要我给你尝一下？我俩好的。我在家带小孩，钱都在你那里，买一个怎么了？
没钱你吃什么榴莲啊？
我一年到头，偶尔买一个榴莲，偶尔买一个榴莲，带回去跟小孩子一起分享一下，怎么了？
那你知不知道我们在外面挣钱多么辛苦啊？你天天就知道吃吃吃。你看你吃成什么样子了，你还在这里还在要？
在外面我不想跟你吵。对不起，老板，不好意思啊。
你看你的样子。
Not even done with this video. Well, that video you showed me, actually, one key point is because that girl was buying groceries, right?
Yeah.
And she wanted to eat a fruit, a durian, and the guy's like, why do you want this?
Right.
You're already so fat, pretty much.
Yeah.
And he was the only bread in the family. Breadwinner in the family. So, like 50, maybe 60 years ago, that was fine. But I think nowadays, like, women, you have to have some money in yourself.
Yeah.
Like, it's sad, but you gotta keep a little for yourself.
Yeah. Like, on that note, though, I do think it's true because we don't always want to be on the receiving end, especially when it comes to money, because it puts you in a position where you have to ask for it.
Yeah. Unless you have a really good relationship.
Yeah.
Like, honestly,
Yeah.
like, if you have a really good marriage, it's a little bit different.
Yes.
Because you can not make money, and it's not really asking, actually. Like, your husband will give it all to you, kind of.
Yeah.
And
But some guys, they
he
don't
has
think
to
like
ask.
that. Exactly.
That's the way it should be.
Exactly. Yeah, but I guess not all the guys that I see on Instagram are like that, though.
Yeah, I mean, there's both sides have problems.
Yeah.
So.
It's not only the guys, it's also the girl,
Because a lot of girls are really materialistic these days.
Yeah.
So they just spend, and then they're just like, oh, you should. They just think it should be like that.
Yeah.
And then they cannot understand how hard it is for the guy to make money. Then that's why guys are becoming, no, I'm not gonna give you. Like, so there's a reason why people have evolved what we are today. It's because everyone's looking outwards and not looking inside. I think that's why.
And I have to say, we are a lot more materialistic.
For sure.
This generation.
For sure.
Right? Because, I mean, just think about all of the things that's like, oh, there's only 10 items, and then it just, because we're so materialistic, we're like, oh, we all have to get one, and then the price just goes up.
I mean, I think we are our generation, maybe halfway through our generation, we became really materialistic. But before, I think we're like, when we were younger, we're still very humble, because we still had like the flip phones and stuff.
Like there wasn't that much of a需求.
No, I didn't even know anything about brands. Like, what are brands? Like, what?
I mean, like there's the big difference is though, like our generation, like you see how we used to dress up as like 10, 16 years old, and then you see the girls now that's 10, 16 years old and how they're dressed up. I'm like, dang, they're 16.
I don't think I even dressed myself. I like whatever my mom bought me. Like I didn't even pick my own clothes.
It's like mismatched tee and pants. Sure, whatever. I'm just gonna have fun.
But our next generation, I think it all has to do with the internet though. Because we have so much access to everything. You know, like before we didn't know any brands. Like we had no idea, nobody to teach. But now it's all out there. Everything. You can learn the history of every single brand, even the priciest brands ever. You know, only luxury can get. You know, so the whole world is really different. Blame the internet. So, it's a huge topic. But the question is, do you think the person, your other half, ultimately makes your decision? Ultimately affects your decision of wanting to have kids or not?
I'd say yes.
Yes, for sure. I agree, for sure. It's there's no left and right. It's a really
it affects. Yes. And then so the second question that we have for you is, how far along in the relationship should you pop that question about having kids or not having kids? I feel like if you're comfortable with that person, if you know that you want to be in a marriage, then as soon as you have that thought, find a suitable time and pop that question.
And I guess it really depends on what kind of situation you guys met on. So what do you guys think? Leave your comments and thoughts below. And if you guys have any other topics you want to talk about relationship, it's just too broad. Okay?
It is so broad.
It's very interesting, you know? Hopefully you guys can get some insight off of it.
Yes. We will see you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And that's it for this video. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.